Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to News at Noon. News at Noon is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. I'm News Director Lee Pye here today with Kowalyk, Sara, Lodespoto, and Parker Gurnett. With this top of the hour update, we'll bring you the latest of SUNY Fredonia's campus news and events, sports, weather, and music, as well as national and international news. First up, let's go to the event bulletin for this week. Ethos New Music Society is hosting a two-part recital, Student Composer Concert 6. They feature student composers and performers performing world premieres of new pieces of music. All kinds of genres and styles are included. The first part of the recital is Saturday, April 20th, which already passed, and then today, Monday, April 22nd, at 8 p.m. in the same place, Roush Recital Hall. If you're interested, and the event is free and open to the campus and community, if you are looking for more information, check out the Instagram at Ethos New Music regarding the event. That's it for the information through the grapevine. Next, we'll bring it to Chloe for our latest campus news updates.
Thank you so much, Lee. So this year's commencement speakers have officially been announced. The two speakers are both alums of SUNY Fredonia. They are Reginald Reg Spiller, who is the president and CEO of Azimuth Energy LLC and the CEO of subsidiary Azimuth GISE, as well as Tim Zalowski, who is the president of AMB Sports and Entertainment. Spiller is the speaker for the morning session at 10 a.m., and Zalowski is the speaker for the afternoon session at 3 p.m. Commencement will be held on May 18th. The Department of Theater and Dance is closing out on its Walter Glore main stage series with not one, but two productions. The department is presenting a rotation of The Crucible and Abigail 1702, a twice-told tale. Shows will be held from April 26th through May 4th in the Marvel Theater on campus. Dates and times for The Crucible are April 26th, 27th, and May 2nd at 7:30 p.m. and May 4th at 2 p.m., while Abigail 1702 runs from April 27th and 28th at 2 p.m. and May 3rd and 4th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are available both online and in the campus ticket office. That's it for campus news. Now let's send it back to Lee.
Thanks, Chloe. Next up, we have local news. The boil water order for Fredonia and Pomfret was lifted yesterday morning, and make sure to flush and run the water taps in your home before continuing to consume the water. Turbidity in the distribution system has returned to required levels, and tests for 2 consecutive days to indicate that the water throughout the distribution system is safe for drinking, cooking, making ice, brushing teeth, and making coffee. All plumbing lines that have not been used regularly since the boil water went into effect should be flushed before the water of the line is consumed. This includes ice makers and refrigerator water dispensers. This is the fourth boil water order in 14 months for Fredonia. Many rural, I can never say that word, cemetery locations are struggling to afford maintenance and keep upkeep of their grounds. Assemblyman Robert Smullen is proposing legislation that would require the state Secretary of State to develop a, quote, adopt a rural cemetery program to improve, repair, and maintain cemeteries in the rural communities. Smullen wrote in his legislative justification, quote, primarily in rural areas of the state and in small cities have struggled to maintain their older cemeteries. These cemeteries may have dilapidated monuments, overgrown vegetation, or are in need of new fencing. This legislation is necessary to adopt a rural cemetery program modeled after the highly successful Adopt a Highway program to allow volunteers or groups to assist in the crucial maintenance and preservation of cemeteries in our rural communities throughout the state, end quote. Now that's it for your local news update. Let's bring it to the sports guy, Parker Gurnett.
Thanks, Lee. Fredonia sports teams were very active this weekend. In spring games for the women's tennis team, they lost their final match in a 9-0 set loss to SUNYAC rival Brockport. Over on the softball field, the softball team played a doubleheader against SUNYAC foe Cortland on Friday, losing Game 1 in 5 innings by a score of 8-0. Emily Chelius pitched a 5 strong innings, allowing 2 earned runs, and in the second game, they would lose 4-0 while Vanessa Galbraith pitched a complete 7 innings. On Saturday, they would go on to celebrate Senior Day against visiting SUNYAC opponent Oswego, celebrating their 7 seniors, Alyssa Santiago, Alex Brezendine, Genesis de la Cruz, Vanessa Galbraith, Hannah Mezzaprate, Aaron Cunningham, and Emily Chelius. Fredonia would win the first game of the doubleheader by a score of 13-8, and in the second game, freshman Madison Lowe would hit her first collegiate home run 210 feet down the left field line early in the game, and then would deliver the game-winning one in the bottom of the 7th to score on a walk-off. Lowe also pitched a strong 5 2/3 innings, striking out 6. The team will be back in action on Wednesday against Brockport for a doubleheader at 3 p.m. The women's lacrosse team also hosted Senior Day on Saturday against SUNYAC rival Potsdam, celebrating their 2 seniors, Sarah Gargalia and Sydney Bucco. Bucco led the Blue Devils with 5 goals, 3 assists, and 8 draw controls, and also earned her 100th career point, finding sophomore Kaylin Corrales for the assist late in the second quarter. The team will be back in action at home Wednesday at 4 p.m. for their final home game of the season against Geneseo. And on Sunday, Baseball Trap played a non-conference doubleheader at Pitts Greensburg, winning the first game by a score of 11-5 and Game 2 18-7. Across the 2 games, sophomore Christian Pagano hit a pair of home runs while driving in 7, and senior Garrett Stuckey drove in 6. Sophomore Morgan Zentara and junior Peyton Alstrom picked up the wins for each of the games on the mound. And the team will be back in action at home today at 2 p.m. for a doubleheader against Hilbert College. In local sports news, the Buffalo Bandits won their final regular season game on the road against the Las Vegas Devil Dogs 14-5. Forward Dame Smith became the all-time NLL leader in assists in the regular season with 101. The Bandits have secured a home playoff game this Saturday against a Georgia Swarm, starting at 7 p.m. And in Bills news, Bills owner Terry Pegula announced over the weekend a partial sale of the team. The 25% sale of the team is being taken care of by Allen & Company, and it is a non-controlling minority interest in the Bills. That's it for your sports update. Now let's send it over to Sara with the weather.
Now here is your Northern Chautauqua weather update brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hi y'all, the sun shines bright today as we rise to 54 with strong breezes. What a great day to go outside. I'm looking forward to relaxing on those blue lawn chairs across campus. They're actually more comfortable than I thought they would be. Sure, the reclining aspect isn't helpful when you're trying to chat with friends, but at the same time, it's great if you want some alone time listening to music. As the sun sets, tonight lowers to 44. Tuesday is the definition of a problem child, with high wind speeds and the clouds filling up the skies until it rains in the afternoon at 63 degrees. Were you ever the problem child? I don't think I ever was. If anything, I was an accomplice by default. You see, I have a twin, so if one of us got in trouble, we'd both be in trouble. Outside of family, people would often be confused as to which one of us did it, so, of course, it would be easier to assume we both caused trouble than pinning it on the individual twin. I know, it's just as annoying as tomorrow night's rainfall and strong wind speeds entering to the upper 40s. That's it for your 2-day weather. Keep listening. I'll be back with the rest of your 5-day forecast. For now, let's take it to Lee for a local music up.
Last Call Entertainment is presenting at BJ's with bands like Auto Ignition, Do Crime, Gatto Black, and Midstep on Thursday, April 25th. The event is at 51 West Main Street in downtown Fredonia. Doors are at 9 p.m. and music is at 10 p.m. That's all I have for music news this week. Now let's bring it back to Sara for our national and international news.
Today, the 22nd, is marked as National Earth Day, dating back to the 1970s when Gaylord Nelson, a Democratic senator from Wisconsin, started a day that brings awareness to the environmental degradation across the world, such as deforestation, pollution, and climate change. This year's theme is Plants vs. Plastics, taking a hit on the video game Plant vs. Zombies. Plastics have become a main source in everyone's lives. You can find plastics in your backyard and in your food. So, just for the day, notice and reduce the amount of plastic you are using to make the world a better place. Donald J. Trump is charged with falsifying business records to cover up a sex scandal that threatened to derail his 2016 campaign. Lawyers on both sides are giving their initial presentations to the jury today. Prosecutors in their first criminal trial of an American president began laying out their case for a jury of 12 New Yorkers today, saying Donald Trump lied to cover up the sex scandal as part of a conspiracy to get him elected as president in 2016. One of the prosecutors from Manhattan District Attorney's Office described how Mr. Trump, his longtime counsel, Michael D. Cohen, and his tabloid publisher, David Pecker, supposedly formed a conspiracy to burying damaging stories, including the account of a porn star who said that she had a sexual encounter with Mr. Trump. Live updates for the trial are being updated in New York Times if you're interested in following along. That's all for your national and international news. Now let's talk weather. Wednesday provides partly cloudy skies with a passing shower at 44 degrees. Feeling stressed? I definitely was last week. Something that might cheer your spirits up is watching the old CGI Barbie movies. If you have any free time or need a video as a background noise, watch Barbie the Island Princess. It's more than a decade old, and it's a nostalgic masterpiece. As you watch your favorite Barbie movie, the nighttime shifts to clear skies, lowering to 31. The sun breaks through the overbearing clouds on Thursday, rising to 52. By the time the waning gibbous comes out at night, there will be little to no clouds as we drop to the mid-30s. Can't wait for Friday? I can't either, especially after knowing it's going to be a sunny high of 66 and light cloud cover. Not to mention, it's my favorite salty food day, National Pretzel Day. I'm always down for some pretzels, but the real question is, what type of pretzel? Personally, I love thin pretzel sticks, but cheesy pretzel sticks? My life is complete after eating that. No explanation needed. So make sure you get some nacho cheese and pretzel sticks Friday evening before the rainfall begins, descending to the low 50s. That's it for your 5-day forecast. Let's take it right back to Lee.
That'll wrap it up for today's edition of News at Noon. Campus News is written by Kowalyk. Local news for this broadcast is prepared by Lee Pye. Weather is presented by Sara Lodespoto. Sports is presented by Parker Gurnett. Music's prepared by Lee Pye. National and international news is prepared by Maisie, Strader, and Lee Pye, and read by Sara Lodespoto. And finally, board operations for this broadcast are performed by Chloe Kowalyk. Thanks for tuning in to News at Noon. Join us every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. From all of us at Fredonia Radio Systems, have a lovely day.